Once again, you are all are welcome for the practice questions. And now I have got a few questions on the soils of India, natural vegetation and the water resources. Right? Now in this set of questions, I have tried my best to collect maximum questions on these chapters, right? And after this, one more video is going to come, which again you should see, right? In the process of revision of all these chapters for the first term exam, you should revise the next video also, right? All the topics should be revised properly. So for that, I have provided all these practice questions for you. Okay, so without wasting any time, let's start with it. And yes, once again, I must remind you, please share this link with your friends and classmates. Okay, because the maximum benefit should be taken from these practice questions. Okay, children, so let's start with it. Soils of India. The first question of it is, formation of soil depends on. The options given are climate, parent rock, relief, and one is all the above. As you all know, climate, parent rock and relief, all these are responsible for the formation of soil. These are some of the factors which are responsible for it. Okay, so we cannot take any one. So instead of taking any one, we can take the D option, which is mentioned all the above. Okay, so the answer is D. Now question number 2, another term associated with leaching. Yes, here it is desilication. Okay, A, desilication. The entire silica content goes down to the subsoil along with water. The process of soil formation is, neither it is pedology nor it is pedography, pedantology, nothing. It is pedogenesis. That means the A option is correct. Okay, main constituent of black soil is, yes, clay. And because of the clay content, if you remember, the black soil has got stickiness. Its nature is stickiness is there when it gets wet, just like clay soil. Okay, so the clay content is actually maximum in it. Okay, so the answer is clay. Alluvial soil is mainly good for the cultivation of fruits, vegetables, tapioca, rubber, wheat, rice, jute and oilseeds, pulses. It is best suited for wheat, rice and jute. Okay, you can easily understand which are grown mainly in the plains of India. From west to east. West wheat, central part rice and east is known for rice and jute. So you all can easily get an idea by that. Okay, texture of alluvial soil. Yes, it keeps varying, children. The first option is correct because you all know it very well now after studying all that. Alluvial soil, as we move from the West Bengal side, from east towards west in the northern plains of India, you will find the texture of soil becomes a little coarser. That means in the West Bengal, then Orissa or even a part of Bihar, you will find the texture of soil is very fine. It's just clay content is more in the alluvial soil. Okay, as we move towards the western side, central part of the plains of India, you'll find loamy soil. Loam content is, that means the particles become, the texture of soil becomes a little bigger. And as we move towards the western side, you'll find the coarser particles are there, or you can say this just like sand content is more. Okay, so this is how we can say that the alluvial soil, the texture of alluvial soil keeps varying. Okay, so the A option is correct. Right, now come to next is, which is not an agent responsible for the removal of topsoil. Now this thing I must tell you, children, you should keep in mind that the negative part of the question is there, right? You all if you don't read it carefully, you will just miss that part. Okay. The question is, which is not an agent responsible for removal of topsoil? Right? We all know that most of the agents are responsible for removal of topsoil, or the other way we can say for the erosion. Removal of topsoil means erosion. Okay. So which of all these is not responsible for removal of topsoil, which is not found on the top soil? Okay. So if we talk about all these, groundwater, running water, wind and waves. As we all know, running water, wind and waves, all these are found on the surface. So they are some or the other way, these are responsible for the removal of topsoil. But when we talk about groundwater is found underground. Think of it. Groundwater is always found underground, right? And so groundwater is not responsible for the removal of topsoil. Clear? Now come to next. Bangad and Khadar are the types of laterite soil, alluvial soil, black soil, red soil. This you all know. Alluvial soil is the correct answer. Okay. An example of an area affected by gully erosion, it is Chambal ravines. Right? Chambal is known for it. Clear? A lot of undulated land has developed because of so many gully ravines have actually developed. Right? Deep gullies have been formed. So that has developed, that has caused the entire area to develop into a total wasteland. It's not used at all for anything, right? So that is Chambal ravines. Now come to next. Which is not an adverse effect of soil erosion? Yes, increase in agricultural productivity, decrease in soil moisture, lowering of the water table, extension of arid lands. It can be A as well as C, right? Okay, A and C both can be the answers here. Increase in agricultural productivity. Now you can see here the lowering of water table. Both these are going to work in this case, right? Now come to wind. Erosion is prominent in arid regions due to how in arid regions, why the wind are more active? Because of lack of natural vegetation. Yes, correct. Number 2 is sandy porous soil. Yes. And C is lack of moisture. All the three are correct. So we can give the option D, which is mentioned all the above. Right? Now come to next question. Next is an agricultural method leading to soil erosion. First option is given none of the below. Second is contour ploughing. C is terracing. D is crop rotation. Now all these methods are actually not related with soil erosion. If you think of it, all these are what? All these are the methods of soil conservation, right? Now you can see the question, how the question has been turned. An agricultural method leading to soil erosion. Okay. All these methods are leading to soil conservation. Understood? All these three methods. So let's see the fourth option. A option is given, none of the below. Yes, that is 100% true. Because all these three are not at all related with soil erosion. These are related with the soil conservation. So the correct answer is going to be A. Okay. Now, come to the next. Soil erosion in northeastern India is a result of all these three, children. Deforestation is done on a large scale. Shifting agriculture is known in the northeastern hills. Shifting agriculture is found a lot. And number C is heavy rainfall. Yes, northeastern hills get very heavy rainfall. So all the three are responsible. So instead of taking any one, we can take the option D. Okay, in which it is mentioned all the above. Now come to next question. Question number 14. It is not a method of soil conservation. One is zooming, second is planting shelter belts, third is constructing check dams, and fourth is contour bunding. So all these methods are of soil conservation except zooming. Zoom cultivation is also called as shifting agriculture. It is also called as slash and burn agriculture. Okay, so it is known for practices which is causing soil erosion. Okay, so it cannot be taken as a part of this. So the answer will be zooming. Clear? Now come to next. Soils of northern plains are, northern plains have got which type of soil? Alluvial soil. Okay, so alluvial soil is a transported soil and which is also called by the name ex situ. So B is going to be the correct answer, right? Now come to next. The All India Soil Survey Committee has classified soils on the basis of location, right? On the basis of location, it has been classified. Next is growing two crops in alternate rows in a plot of land to check soil erosion is called strip farming, right? Long strips are made and the farming is done. That is called strip farming. It is actually more, you can say, successful to reduce the erosion in those areas where mainly the wind is more active. Okay, so that is called strip farming. Clear? Now next is there is a variety of soils in India due to varying relief, parental rock material, climate, all these children. So here we can say the option D is correct. Right? Now come to next. Most widespread transported soil found in India, alluvial, that we all know. Next, alluvial soils in North Indian plains originate from sediments transported and deposited by basically rivers. Okay. Now come to next, which is not a characteristic of Khadar soil. Not a characteristic of Khadar soil. Right. So generally Khadar soil is what? New or bad? The old. New or old alluvial? It is new alluvial soil. Okay, Khadar soil is called as new alluvium. So if new alluvial soil is there, it is very fertile, it is replenished annually and it occupies the maximum part of the floodplains of rivers, right? So B, C, D, all these are the features of Khadar soil. The question is which is not a characteristic. So A is the correct answer because the Bangar soil actually contains the lime nodules. Okay, so the A option is correct in this case. Black soil is essentially formed by the disintegration of basalt rocks of Deccan Trap, volcanic rocks, solidified lava, all these. Right, all these are somehow the igneous rocks, and these rocks when they get weathered or disintegrated, that results into the formation of black soil. So D option will be correct. Laterite soil is suitable for jute, rice, coffee, wheat. Coffee is the best suited crop, you can say, which can be grown in the laterite soil. Okay. Alluvial soil up to 500 meters depth is found in the valley of the river Ganga. Okay. Now come to next. Soil formed by the weathering of acidic granites and gneisses is actually the, if we talk about the granites and gneisses, this is related with the red as well as black soil. So basically here we are talking of the metamorphic rocks, right? Granites and gneisses, that is metamorphic. Clear? It converts. So metamorphic rocks are formed. So the resultant rock, which is, the soil which is formed is the red soil. Okay. The resultant soil by this is red soil. A soil which has the property of being valuable building material as its bricks harden like iron when exposed to air. This is laterite. Okay. Laterite is the correct answer for this. Next is, which is a chemical characteristic of laterite soil? Acidic, basic, neutral, coarse. Acidic is the correct answer for this. Clear? Next, laterite soil supports Intensive agriculture, grazing grounds, scrub lands, dense forest, wetlands. It actually supports the grazing grounds and scrub lands. Okay. Neither the intensive agriculture nor it is dense forested area nor the wetlands. Now come to the next. Red soil is generally formed in areas of poor rainfall and is thus ideal for extensive agriculture, no. Plantation farming, no. Dry farming, yes. Dry farming is actually best suited for the red soil because it is generally found in those areas where the rainfall is comparatively very less. Okay, so this is the reason dry farming is done mostly in those areas. Now next is regur is a term associated with black soil. Yes, black soil is also called by this name, regur. Now come to next. The area least affected by soil erosion is, least affected area is actually the Ganga Plain, Piedmont zone of the Himalayas, Chota Nagpur Plateau and Chambal Badlands. In this, children, you can take the Ganga Plains as well as Chota Nagpur Plateau. Both are actually, if you compare, both are affected less, right? Here the option can be Chota Nagpur Plateau because even in the Ganga Plains nowadays the erosion is actually getting more and more, right? Piedmont zone of Himalayas, again a part of very active soil erosion is going on, right, on large scale. And Chambal Badlands, we all know very well about it. So instead of Ganga Plains, I would say it should be Chota Nagpur Plateau, right? Now come to next, natural vegetations. Okay. Question number 1. This type of vegetation is found in the leeward slope of Western Ghats. Leeward slope. The windward side, we find the tropical evergreen. Okay. Now on the leeward side, it is always found the B, tropical deciduous. And as we go further away from it, you will even find the tropical desert type vegetation. Okay. Now next, this tree has breathing roots. Teak, rosewood, keora and hintal. Hintal is the correct answer because hintal belongs to the tidal forest, tidal vegetation. Okay, this tree shed leaves all together in dry season. Teak, rosewood, keora and fir. It should be teak. Yes, because teak is actually a tree which is found in the areas where it's a, you can say the rainfall gets a little less than 200 centimeters, right? Or you can say it belongs to the deciduous category, deciduous type of vegetation. So when the rainfall is, for some time the rainfall is not there, it's a dry season. During that time, these trees, what they do is they shed down their leaves. What is the purpose? To save water for the dry season. Because once the leaves are shed down, the total amount of water which is lost in the transpiration is reduced. Okay. So to reduce the rate of transpiration, this is done. Okay. So this is one of the you can say adaptations which has been found actually in these trees. Okay. So teak is the correct option for this. Now the next, these trees belong to tropical evergreen vegetation. Tropical evergreen. Teak arjun, rosewood mahogany, keora palm and deodar fir. Rosewood and mahogany belong to this category. Okay. Next, this tree has white ant resistance capability. Now in this, teak has got this capacity, right? Which is because of this quality, it is actually used for making furnitures and for the construction purpose, right? Now come to the next. This tree is of xerophytic type. Xerophytic means the desert type vegetation. Okay. So which one belongs to this? Sal, ebony, keora, babul. Babul is the correct option for this. Okay. Babul belongs to the acacia group of trees, right? So it is found in xerophytic vegetation. Next question is, this forest has dense and mixed variety of trees. Tropical evergreen, tropical deciduous, xerophytic, temperate evergreen. The evergreen vegetation is known for a dense and mixed variety of trees, and because of which it becomes a little less economical, you can say commercially important, than the deciduous type of vegetation. Okay, because in tropical deciduous you'll find the trees are found in pure strand, but here in tropical evergreen the total trees which are found, these are found in mixed strand. What is it now? The thing which is mentioned here, this forest has got dense and mixed variety of trees, right? So it should be A. Now come to next example of the social forestry is Chipko movement, joint forest management, Bishnoi's movement, none. No, it can be Chipko movement. It can be Chipko movement, right? Because in that case, you know, the local people only, they protect the trees, right? And they feel that the trees belong to them, and the Chipko movement happened the same way. Okay, all the people went there to protect the trees, and they stopped the people to cut the trees from there. Okay, so it can be an example of social forestry. Next, this vegetation needs high temperature and rainfall throughout the year, which is that tropical deciduous mountain vegetation. Third is tropical evergreen vegetation, and the D is none. It should be C. Okay, C is the correct answer for this tropical evergreen vegetation. Clear? Next, this vegetation has mostly softwood trees. It should be mountainous vegetation. Yes, montane vegetation, or you can say the alpine type of vegetation. So here B option is correct. Now come to next. This vegetation has broad-leaved trees, mangrove forest, mountain vegetation, tropical evergreen, and tropical desert. It should be tropical evergreen vegetation. It has got broad-leaved trees. Next, this vegetation has thorns and long roots. It is found in xerophytic vegetation, or you can say the tropical desert type. Okay, so the answer has to be C in this case. Now come to question 13. This vegetation has conical shaped trees. Conical shaped, if you remember, coniferous trees. Yes, where these are found? Over the mountainous area. So it has to be mountain vegetation. Clear? None of B, C and D. It has to be A. A is the correct answer. This vegetation is multi-layered. Next question is, this vegetation is multi-layered. Which one? Mountain vegetation, tropical evergreen, tropical desert, tropical deciduous. It will be B. Tropical evergreen vegetation. Clear? It has got different layers of you can say vegetation is present. So it is called as the vegetation which has got multi-layered vegetation, right? So B is the correct option. Next is the main objective of NFP, National Forest Policy 1988, is to conserve soil, for the water conservation, reduce the rate of deforestation, increase the area under forest cover. D is the most important point on which it focused, right? So it has to be D. Next is mangroves prevent coastal erosion. Hence it is known as the survivor of the coast, guardian of the coast, helper of the coast, and none of them. It has to be B. B is the correct answer for this, guardian of the coast, okay, which protects. What is the role of guardians? To protect, right? And what is written here? Mangroves prevent the coastal erosion. That means it is protecting the coastland from getting eroded. So the second option is going to be correct. Clear? Now come to next. Most of the mangroves are destroyed due to shifting cultivation, developmental activities, animal grazing, none of them. It has to be B. B should be the correct option because developmental activities are going on, and this is why maximum area is being cleared of all these trees, all the vegetation, right? So B is going to be the correct answer. Then next question is, trees and plants in deserts grow slowly due to High rainfall, high temperature, low rainfall, none of them. Yes, because of low rainfall. C is the correct option. Then next, desert plants store water in their leaves, stem and leaves, in roots, none of them. B is the correct option, right? Even in stems also, the leaves also as well as stems, right? Because these are thick, right? And within these stems, you can say the barks are very thick, and in these barks and the leaves, generally the water is stored, right? Next, few desert plant roots spread over a large area because it absorbs water faster to protect themselves from high heat to help the plant a strong base, or none of them. It is A. Okay, because when the roots spread faster in the soil, what is it helpful in? To get more and more water, because that is a water lacking area, right? There the water is less. So in search of water, the root spreads faster, or many times you will find the roots go very deep inside in search of water. Clear? Now come to next. Identify the tree and answer next two questions. Is it a hardwood tree? Yes, no doubt it is a hardwood tree. The tree here are, yes, in pure strand, mixed strand, tall and dense, in agroforestry. Which is the correct one? In pure strand. Okay, the answer is in pure strand. Similar trees you can find here. It's not mixed. They belong to deciduous forest, tropical evergreen, mangrove forest, or mountain forest. They belong to deciduous forest. Okay, because deciduous forest has this quality of pure strand. Oh, right. Now come to next. One image is given there here in front of you, right? And you must have got an idea which type of vegetation is shown here. Okay, see the picture and answer the next two questions. This type of vegetation is found in the dash areas: Thar Desert, Sundarbans, Himalayas, and the Western Ghats. It is Sundarbans. Yes. What type of vegetation is this? Found in Sundarban? Yes, come on. Tidal forest, or you can say the mangrove forest. Clear? Sundarbans. Now come to the next question. This vegetation is used in dash industry: railway sleeper, boat making, plywood making, biofuel. We have discussed earlier about one of the features of this type of trees. It has got high content of oil within it, right? And that makes it important for the boat making. Okay, so out of all these options given here, B is the most appropriate for this. Clear? Now come to next. Next is based on this image, answer next two questions. Yes, this type of vegetation mainly grow in the region of what type of rainfall? High, low, very high, and moderate. It is found in an area where low rainfall is there. You can see here somewhat like cactus is there in the picture. Based on this image, answer next two questions. You can see now what type of vegetation is this. Yes, these trees have the softwood, no doubt, and they belong to what? The coniferous trees, coniferous vegetation. They generally grow at, yes, they grow at higher altitudes over the mountainous area. Clear? Now come to next. Based on this image, answer the next two questions. This is somewhat like Chipko movement. Yes, this is a famous movement of India to protect trees. You can see Save Narmada movement. No. Chipko movement. Yes. Third is Van Mahotsav. No. And social forestry. It can be taken as an example of social forestry, but itself when it is mentioned Chipko movement, so we can take this option B. Okay. Now come to next. This movement spreads awareness to protect trees in especially the Rajasthan, Uttarakhand region. Okay. Now come to, based on this answer, next question. Based on this picture, answer the next question. This is actually what you can see here. It is a fire line. Okay. fire line, a space which is left in between the forested area to actually prevent the spread of fire from one part of the forested area to the other, if by chance it happens. Clear? Now come to next, the question. The fire line in the forest is created to prevent the deforestation, soil erosion, forest fire, floods. Forest fire. Okay, C option is correct. Based on this image, answer next two questions. This is a program of plantation, One Mahotsav, Chipko movement, horticulture, agroforestry. It is One Mahotsav. Okay, which was started at that time. Next, this program is helpful to reduce the rate of deforestation, increase the area under forest cover, to stop deforestation, all of the above. It helps in increasing the area under forestation, more and more area under forest cover. Right? So B is the correct option. Now this is somewhat like, yes, rubber tree. Okay. And what is this liquid called? It is called latex. Clear? Now let's see. The tree is evergreen, deciduous, no or none. What is the option? Yes, it is evergreen. Rubber tree is a evergreen type of tree. Right? Now next, the tree has medicinal use. This tree, if you identify, what is this tree? We are having a lot of such trees around us here in these areas. It is Neem tree. And it has got a medicinal use. Yes. So B is the correct answer. Right? Next, the jungle belongs to tropical deciduous, tropical evergreen, tidal or mountain forest. It should be, yes, B option. Where in tropical evergreen you will find a lot of dense forest is there, and a lot of undergrowths can be seen, which is found in the tropical evergreen. Clear? Next, which of the following is used for making expensive furnitures? Sundari, Arjun, sandalwood or rosewood? Rosewood is generally used for this purpose. Which of the characteristic of teak make it very useful for construction? It is resistant to water. It cannot be attacked by termites. It is water resistant. Same. And all the above. I think D is the correct answer for this. That means all these are the qualities which make it useful, very useful in the construction activities. Right. So now come to the next. Which tree is used for tanning and as a firewood? Babool is actually used for that purpose, and as a firewood also it is used a lot. Which of the trees is used for making furniture and railway sleepers? Teak, hintel, ebony, shisham. Shisham and teak both are actually used for that purpose. Okay, so here you can take any one. Actually, shisham is more useful than the teak, so you can take shisham as the correct option. Right? Now come to the water resources. The first question, Nehru called these temples of modern India. What he was referring to? Tube wells, multi-purpose dams, ordinary wells, or none of the above? It should be B, multi-purpose dams. Okay. Most advanced and efficient method of irrigation consisting of perforated pipes. Sprinkler irrigation, drip irrigation, spray irrigation and furrow irrigation. It should be drip irrigation. Okay. A watershed development project by central government aiming at conservation of water. What is it? Yes, Haryali. You have studied about it. Haryali is the correct option for this. Irrigation in India faces many problems. Reduced water pollution and improved quality of water. Deforestation leading to drought and reduction of rainfall. A large quantity of water is not properly utilized. And the D option is all. Actually, C should be the most appropriate answer for this. Okay. A large quantity of water is not properly utilized. Actually, children, we are getting water. We are getting sufficient amount of rainfall if you see. But we are not at all giving it any importance. That means it's just rainfall we are getting, and within few seconds it is gone. Right? Either it seeps down, little part of it seeps down, or maximum part of it flows away. Right? So we are actually not properly utilizing the water, whether it is rainwater or it is for irrigation purpose also, right? For irrigation purpose also, whatever water we are getting, we are not utilizing it for the fullest. Okay, a large part of it is going waste. Clear? Where water is not much required, there more and more water is supplied. Somewhere where we need more water, there water is not available. So proper utilization is not there. Okay, so we can take C option. Yes. Now come to next. Used for irrigating extremely large area up to 500 hectares. It is C option. Yes. Tube wells can be the correct answer for this. Fertilizer and nutrient loss is minimized in this type of irrigation. It should be bamboo irrigation. Bamboo irrigation, or you can say it is just like drip irrigation. Clear? So this is quite similar. Bamboo or drip irrigation are quite similar, and this is used to minimize the loss of fertilizer, nutrients, as well as the basic purpose is to reduce the loss of water. Okay, because it immediately gives the water to that particular plant or crop which actually needs the water, right? Now next, rainwater harvesting technique adopted in Rajasthan. Which method is used in Rajasthan? Dongs, Kere, Joharts or Pukur? It is C, Joharts. Migration of salt from subsoil to the surface of a canal. Yes, it is leaching, effervescence, fertilization, all of the above. It is called, actually the term given to this is the effervescence. Okay. Irrigation is significant in Punjab because there is no rain in the state throughout the year. No. Green revolution began here. Yes. Due to the presence of natural depressions. No. Presence of 5 major rivers. Again no. It should be B. Clear? Now next, essential factor leading to the development of well irrigation would be uneven ground with many natural depressions. No, it's not correct. Then next is non-porous rocks. Again, it's not correct. C is high water table and soft soil. Yes, exactly. This is required for the development of well irrigation in any area. Okay. And the D option is none. So C is the correct answer for this. Conservation of water is essential as water table is improved due to over-exploitation. Rainfall is evenly distributed throughout the country. C is industries use large amount of water, and D is none. Conservation of water is essential. So for this, C is going to be the correct answer. Here in whatever options are given, C has to be the correct answer here. Now next, which of the following is not a cause of water scarcity? Growing population, exploited underground water, afforestation, rooftop rainwater harvesting techniques. Which is not a cause of water scarcity. Not a cause of water scarcity. It can be afforestation as well as it can be rooftop rainwater harvesting techniques, because they are not related with the more and more use of water, right? Rooftop rainwater harvesting techniques are also used to save water, to conserve water, not a cause for water scarcity. Okay, and afforestation also the same way. When the trees are more over any area, that will help in conserving water. So these two, C and D, both can be correct in this case. Which is not an adverse effect of irrigation? Let's see. Number 1 is irrigation changes cropping pattern. Okay. Number 2, water intensive crops are grown in dry areas. Right. Number 3 is salinization of soil. And number 4 is increase in crop yield. Not an adverse effect. Not an adverse effect. Children, in this case, you can say that D option, C and D both will work, especially D will work, right? Because here we are talking of, suppose whatever are the adverse effect of irrigation, right? Adverse effect. So there you can say the irrigation changes cropping pattern. This is wrong, bad effect of it, right? Salinization of soil, that is a bad effect of it. Clear? Now, what is not an adverse effect? So in that case, you can take B and D, right? B and D. Even in the drier areas now, the intensive crops are, water intensive crops are grown. Okay, because there the irrigation has been provided. Next, increase in crop yield. Because of such conditions, now the total crop yields have increased. So B and D are going to be the correct answers, not C. B and D. Clear? Now next, not a source of fresh water. Glaciers and ice sheets, groundwater, surface runoff, and oceans. All these options are providing the fresh water except ocean. Because oceans have got the, yes, salty water, or you can say saline water, right? Now come to the next, which is the first state in India which has made rooftop rainwater harvesting structure compulsory to all the houses across the state. Yes, it is known for Tamil Nadu. Okay, West Bengal, Meghalaya, Rajasthan, Tamil Nadu. Tamil Nadu is the state where it has been made compulsory. Okay, the fraction of Earth's surface covered with water is actually 3/4. Right, just 1/4 of the entire area is covered with land. Just imagine, 3/4 of the area is covered with water. Right, which means of irrigation is seen practiced in the picture? It is well irrigation, canal irrigation, drip irrigation, or none of the above. It is canal irrigation. Right, now come to next. Identify the method of recharging groundwater aquifers. This is actually the percolation pit. Right, borewell, recharge trench, percolation pit, recharge trenches. It is actually percolation pit. Right, which is not a water harvesting mechanism. Conduits, catchment, sprinkler, watershed management. All these are the different methods of water harvesting mechanism, but the sprinkler is something different. Sprinkler is a method of irrigation, modern means of irrigation. Okay, so sprinkler is somewhat different from these. Now, which is not an objective of rainwater harvesting? A is minimizing the problem of droughts and goals, recharging of groundwater, encouraging recycling of water, and none of the above. Recycling of water actually is not the main objective of the rainwater harvesting. Okay, the main objective is to recharge the groundwater and to conserve more water, to save water for future use, right? Or you can say to sort out the problem of droughts and all. So A and B both are the main objectives, and none of the above cannot be the option. So what is left with us? Only C. C is the correct answer for this. Clear? Now come to next. The need for conservation of water has arisen due to increased demand of water, increased population, increased need for industrialization and irrigation, and all of the above. Yes, here all these are the answers. That means we cannot leave any one. So the D option will be the most appropriate. Okay, which is mentioned all the above. Clear? Now, inundation canals are drawn from cutting riverbanks, canals from dams, small canal from a main canal, or none. It is A. It is drawn from cutting the riverbanks. Okay. Now come to next. Wells are popular means of irrigation because they are cheap to construct and are private source. They can irrigate very large area. Wells occupy small area. And the last one is all the above. Basically, it is most popular especially in those areas where the people belong to not so well off. They are not so well off. So people always prefer to take this option for irrigation. Okay, because it is one of the, not one of the, you can say it is the cheapest means. Okay, so it is very easy to construct also, and it is actually a private source of irrigation, right? So it can be A option. Now next, tank irrigation is not popular in North India because there are perennial rivers, land is not undulating, the surface there is pervious and cannot collect water effectively. All these are working here. Okay, so the D option will be correct. There is great need of irrigation in India because to increase the per hectare production, water is indispensable part of green revolution to fulfill the food demand of very high population. And the last one is all. Yes, I think all of these options are correct. So the D option will be the most appropriate. Okay. Next, canal irrigation is possible in North India plains on account of presence of perennial rivers. Yes, it helps in that. Very fertile land, again it is helpful. Canals can irrigate hundreds of hectares, and presence of flat land. All these are working in this case. So all the above options are correct. Clear? Next, which among the following is not a modern means of irrigation? Sprinkler is a modern means. Perennial canals is also, it can be taken as a modern means. Tube wells also modern means. Persian wheel. Yes, Persian wheel is the answer of this question. Okay. Persian wheel is actually, you can say it's a method of traditional means of irrigation, right? Now, or you can say the conventional means of irrigation. Next is Indira Gandhi Canal is drawn from the Hirakud project, Bhakra Nangal project, Jayakwardi project or DVC project. It is Bhakra Nangal project. Activity of collecting water directly into the ground to improve groundwater storage in the aquifer is termed as watershed development, water conservation, rainwater harvesting, recharging for the aquification. It is C, rainwater harvesting, right? So children, this is all with the questions of this set of practice paper, right? So once again, I must tell you that one more video I will actually provide here, right, in which you are going to get a few more practice questions. Okay, so once you have revised all the syllabus, you should revise the syllabus in this format, because we all know it very well that we are going to get the questions this time in the form of MCQs. Okay, so you should revise the entire part in this manner once. So for that purpose, you should see all these videos which I have uploaded, especially related to the MCQs. Okay, this is the entire syllabus revision in one shot. Okay.